Okay guys, so today we're going to be making a pot of white beans, and these are my beans right here. They're just small white beans, and we're going to be adding some calabaza, which is, let me see, I'm sorry, which is pumpkin, and this is about almost 2.5 pounds. So it was $3.41, and I got this at the farmer's market. Okay, and we are going to be cleaning this out, and then I'm going to be cutting it up and putting it in my beans. But first I have my pot already preheating. So to my pot I'm going to start making my sofrito. I don't have homemade sofrito, which I think if I did have the homemade sofrito, I would not have used it. I'd rather use, with this particular pot of beans, fresh veggies. So let's get started. So to start off, we're going to use some olive oil. If you want to use regular cooking oil, that is fine. I prefer to use olive oil whenever I'm making my beans. So you don't need a lot. Just a little bit of water in there. I just want to get it out. Maybe like a tablespoonful. The first thing we're going to add is the garlic, and this is a half a head of garlic. Let me get my spoon. Beans and calabaza. The pumpkin. All right, now we're going to add our onion. Then I'm going to, and I added a half of onion, and I'm going to add a half of green pepper. Now I'm going to add a half a bunch. This is maybe about a cup and a half of cilantro. You guys know I like a lot of cilantro when I cook. If you don't, you can cut half of this, but this is my preference. You see? Oh my God, it smells so good, guys. Now I'm going to add about 3 teaspoons. You know what? 3 tablespoons of salsa tomate, and that's tomato sauce. Let me get a spoon. I'm going to add some chicken bouillon. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to add 1 packet of Sazon. And I am going to add some black pepper. You guys can see. I don't know if it's too blurry. I'm going to put my stove on a medium heat, and I'm going to cover this because I want my veggies to dissolve just a little more. See? Okay, I'm going to leave this covered for about probably 5 minutes while I cut up my pumpkin, my calabaza, and then I'll be back, okay? Alright guys, so it's been about 6 minutes. It didn't take me long to cut the calabaza, the pumpkin. Okay, so this is what we got. So now I'm going to add my white beans, which I had already opened and rinsed. And I'm just going to mix my beans in here with all this goodness. Now I'm going to bring my heat back up to a high. And I'm going to add my water. Two cups, and I'm adding 3 cups of water, guys. You can add more or less, it's up to you. My kids like a lot of the sauce, especially with the calabaza, so I'm adding 3. I may need to add 4, but right now I'm going to do 3. And I'm going to allow this to come to a boil. If you have a bay leaf, it'll be perfect to throw one in here. I don't have one, but if you have one, you can do so. Right on the money. Alright guys, so before we add the calabaza, we're going to allow for this to come to a boil, and then we'll add the calabaza. I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of cumin. Just a little bit, it's up to you. I put in about 2 teaspoons. Let me wash my spoon. Rinse that. Alright. Like I said, let's allow this to come to a boil before we add in our calabaza or pumpkin. Alright guys, so you see that it has come to a boil. This is how I cut my pumpkin, my calabaza. What I did was I have some bigger chunks and I have some littler chunks, and the reason that I do the littler, here you can see, let me just. Alright guys, so this is my calabaza. You see I have little chunks and then I got bigger chunks. I do the littler chunks so they can break up inside of the sauce, and then it comes out nice and thick. And then I like the bigger chunks because we like to have a nice bite when we cut into the calabaza. Alright, so now I'm going to add the pieces to my beans. And we're going to let the calabaza cook maybe for about 10 minutes. Depends on the texture you want yours. But mine will be about 10-15 minutes, I'll let you know. We're going to let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil with the calabaza in it, we will turn the heat down to a medium and just let it continue the cooking process. And when you cut up your calabaza, make sure you give it a good rinse. Alright guys, so you see it came to a boil. At this time you just want to make sure that you have enough of the liquid. If you don't, you can add more water and you can adjust your seasoning at this time. If you're satisfied, just put it down, like I said, down to medium heat for about 10 minutes. And as you guys know from my other tutorial on how I make my beans, I always leave the lid just slightly off so that it can vent. And I told you guys this is a trick that I've learned throughout the years of cooking, on how my beans will come out, you know, on the thick side. Because when I first started cooking beans, they used to be so watery, guys, but now I have it like down pat. I have the science to my beans. So this is how I do it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna check it maybe about 10-15 minutes. I'll let you know exactly how. Guys, so these are our beans, and this is a good dish just like this. The beans, the pumpkin, is just delicious, and it's good vegetarian dish as well. If you know anyone that's coming over that's a vegetarian, this is a perfect dish because it's full of flavor, and it's perfect now for the fall and the winter. It's delicious. So I hope you give this recipe a try. If you do, let me know how you like it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for notification, and share this recipe with your loved ones. Thank you so much for watching. It's Simply Nena with crafting, cooking, and sazon. To the next video.